Yo, what's up, Aries? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of April 2016. For the majority of the month of April, the sun is going to be in your sign. So, happy solar new year, Aries. You are in the spotlight. You are the star. You take center stage. The sun is going to be moving into the sign of Taurus on April 19th. That has to do with your money situation. So, enjoy that first almost 3 weeks of April with the sun in your sign, because after the 19th of April, then the sun's going to switch into Taurus, and the overall concept will be more about your money situation. Those are the main themes for the sign of Aries for the month of April 2016. Now I'm going to talk about some more specific astrological influences that are set to take place this month and what they mean for you. On April 5th, Venus, the planet of love, also enters your sign. So, I mean, this is a really great influence. When you have Venus in your sign, it makes you more attractive. So, you're actually going to be getting a lot more looks than normal. And if you have a significant other or a spouse, they're going to be a lot more attracted to you during this time, and there may be more romantic encounters during this time. It's actually going to be in your sign until April 28th, so you get to enjoy the majority of the month of April with Venus in your sign. So a lot of romance in your life this month. And Mercury also enters Taurus. Mercury enters Taurus, your second house of money, on the same day, April 5th. And like I said this previously when we started this video, the sun doesn't actually move into this area regarding your money until April 19th. But Mercury will be there on April 5th. And Mercury is the planet of communication. And that there's going to be a lot of conversations about money following April 5th. And once the sun joins Mercury after the 19th, then money matters are really going to kick into focus. And what's interesting about Mercury being in this position is it actually does what's called a retrograde on April 28th. And a lot of people look at retrogrades as like, oh, the planet is moving backwards. Well, it's not actually moving backwards, but it looks like it is. And the reason why that is because when a planet goes retrograde, the speed of the Earth is actually faster than that planet at that particular moment. So if you were to look at the planet Mercury, I guess maybe even through a telescope, it would probably look like it's going backwards because the Earth is moving faster during the retrograde. What does it mean astrologically for you? Well, being in your second house of money, it means there could be some kind of hang up with your money situation. Or it could mean that there's something under review regarding your money situation. And just remember, this doesn't happen until the end of April. So April 28th, it goes retrograde, and then it keeps moving backwards and going retrograde in your second house until it goes direct on May 22nd. So there's going to be a hang up in your money, or there's going to be a review regarding your money situation, or you're going to revisit an issue that you've talked. It's Mercury, the planet of communication. So you're going to be having conversations about a previous money issue after it goes retrograde, and that's going to happen from April 28th till May 22nd once it starts going direct. So if you have to make any big money decisions, I would wait until after May 22nd when Mercury goes direct in your second house of income. That's just my personal opinion, just me giving astrological advice to you. And on April 7th, there's a new moon in your sign, and this is really cool because there's going to be all these new things that are going to be building about you, Aries. It's like you're starting like all these new aspects of your life, and new moons are like a trigger. So for the new moon's going to happen, and in the 6 months that follow the new moon, all these new things are going to be building about you because it's in your sign. It's your sign. It's the first house. It's the house of self. So all these new things are going to be building about you in the following 6 months that follow the new moon after it hits on April 7th. And then 6 months down the line, there's going to be the full moon, and that's the culminating point. That's where everything that was building for those 6 months is going to come to fruition. So it's really cool, something to look forward to. On April 12th, Venus, the planet of love, once again in your sign, is making a positive angle to Mars, the planet of power and ambition, and that is in the sign of Sagittarius. For you, as an Aries, Sagittarius is your ninth house. The ninth house has to do with faraway travel. It has to do with adventure, and it has to do with spirituality. So, we've got Venus, the planet of love, in your sign, and it's making this positive aspect on April 12th to Mars, which is the planet of power and ambition, and has to do maybe with faraway travel. So, what's this? Are you and a significant other? I mean, I would say it's got to be like a romantic situation, because it has to do with, Venus is in the mix and Mars is also in the mix. So those are the planets of love and sex. So, it looks like maybe you'll be having some sort of like romantic adventure. Maybe you're going to like go far away somewhere together with your romantic interest or your significant other. That's one possibility. Another possibility is, like I said, Sagittarius for you is your ninth house. That also has to do with spirituality. So, are you romantically involved with someone who's spiritual? And it doesn't necessarily even have to be something like organized religion. It could be someone who's into astrology, like an alternative way to view spirituality. That's another possibility. On April 17th, Mars turns retrograde. So now we got another planet turning retrograde here. And what's interesting about when Mars turns retrograde, it actually gets very irritated. And this is in your ninth house. Once again, Sagittarius is your ninth house. So this also could signal maybe, if you are going on a vacation somewhere with a significant other or somewhere far away, or maybe even you're, involved with someone who's from somewhere far away, maybe necessarily you're not going somewhere far away, but you're interacting with someone who's from far away in maybe a romantic manner. Maybe you've been involved with this person before, or if that's not the case, maybe you're going somewhere that you've been before with a romantic interest. And, like I said, when Mars goes backwards, it does have a tendency to get irritated. So you might have some irritating moments. I mean, I don't know how really irritated you can get if you're, away somewhere nice on vacation with, a significant other. I mean, I think it points more towards, Mars being retrograde actually points more towards you revisiting somewhere that you've been before, somewhere where you've had a vacation or an adventure. On April 18th, Venus, the planet of love in your sign again, makes a positive angle now to Saturn in Sagittarius. So, I mean, there's something really prominent happening between your sign and your ninth house. The ninth house, Sagittarius, is your ninth house of spirituality, the ninth house of adventure, the ninth house of faraway places. I mean, there's something going on here. I feel like you Aries are going to be taking a trip somewhere far away or interacting somewhere far away. I mean, because this is the second, really positive influence you're having in the month between your first house and your ninth house. And on the same day, Pluto actually turns retrograde, and Pluto is actually in your 10th house. Your 10th house has to do with your career situation. So when Pluto goes retrograde, it sheds off, or it shakes off, all of the old ways of doing things. Pluto is the planet of out with the old, in with the new. And when it's retrograde, it's really trying to get rid of everything that's outdated in your career situation. So, if you've been in the same career for a while, maybe it's just doing away with everything that's old in the way you go about your career. Or, I mean, maybe this is the sign that you're just getting ready to move into a new career altogether. So those are definitely some things to take into consideration. And Pluto's going to be doing this for a while. I mean, it's going to be doing this all through the whole spring. It's going to be retrograde through the whole summer. It actually really doesn't even turn direct until September 26th. So you got a long way to go with getting rid of old processes regarding your career situation. On April 19th, Venus, the planet of love, challenges Pluto in your 10th house of career. Your 10th house is Capricorn. So Venus in Aries, your sign, making a challenging aspect to Pluto in Capricorn, which is your 10th house of career. So what does this suggest? I mean, one possibility is maybe someone is attracted to you in your career life or at work. In your job situation, and maybe it just can't work out because, maybe you're already in a relationship or you're tied up. Either that, or I mean, it just could be that you're having a challenging day, like at work in general. It's a challenging aspect between the planet of love and Pluto in your career sector. So, I mean, there could be some challenging moments regarding your career on April 19th. On April 22nd, there's a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is your 8th house. The 8th house has to do with your shared resources, your shared finances. It has to do with business deals, business negotiations. It has to do with signing contracts, and it even has to do with sex too. There's a lot of different things that the 8th house is categorized with, and it's a full moon. So full moons are like a wild card. It can either be like a shakeup in this area of your life, or it could be some sort of big development. So, think about your area of your life of shared resources. Think about shared finances. Think about, are there any business contracts that you need to sign? Maybe they could be signed at this moment. Maybe you're having some kind of difficulty with it. And then on the same day, April 22nd, Venus in Aries makes a conjunction with the planet Uranus, also in your sign of Aries. So that's going to bring some sort of unexpected love or romantic moment. And it's really good because it's a conjunction. So when there's a conjunction, it's two planets aligning in the same area, and they're aligning in your sign. So expect something really random and romantic to happen on April 22nd that I think you'll really enjoy that, Aries. But I think that's all I have for you this month. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next month. Take care. Bye-bye.